All right, welcome back to Expose News TV. Welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back update and information as see the hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news enter, you go be the first. We'll collect and rough day. Somehow, the Ohanese Igbo and the governors of Southeast are now joining Mazi Simon Ekpa. When Simon Ekpa was telling them, you people should join together and free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so that there will be peace in the southeastern part of Nigeria, that some hoodlums are hijacking the struggle. And these people did not believe it. And they say he who lives in a glass house does not throw stone. And Southeast Ohanese and the governors forgot that they are living in glass house. And once they throw stone, that they will also be affected. And another thing about the politicians wey be say they dey for Southeast be say because their children they live abroad, and they felt that they have the armored tank, they have the bulletproof cars, Maybach, that they are using, that nothing will happen to them. But as they now, everywhere hot, they themselves don't they feel them, they themselves don't they feel the hotness of the things where they happen, because the things are waiting they go do by force. The one where we say that they call Peter Mba, where Simon Ekpa they call Olowale Mba entered office, the first thing he did was to start attacking sit at home. He said nothing like sit at home in Enugu State, blah 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 blah. He invited army, invited police. They started doing a parade, all those things. He felt that was going to solve it. Then waiting that they call him Soludo, that was very calm about all these things, saw what Mba was doing, and decided that okay, since Mba is doing and he's not doing, people will feel that he's not doing anything, forgetting that when Soludo was elected into office, there was a big chaos in Anambra State. It was as if election was not going to hold. And when these guys, the IPOB members, saw that the party Soludo was in, or is Apoga, and that party is Odumegwu Ojukwu's party, who was the first person that fought for this freedom, they said, okay, let's allow peace to reign in Anambra. And all the Anambra people came out in mass and voted for Soludo, both the IPOB members and the rest of them, because, first of all, before he entered office, he started talking about how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released and the rest of them. Even to the extent, he went to Abuja, visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS detention and the rest of them. Then after that, he saw what Olowale Mba was doing, how Mba was parading himself, thought that democracy is not what you do by the bearer of gun. It is government of the people by the people, which is to say that when you want to iron out things with the citizens, the best approach is to use dialogue and call them, what do you want? How are we going to sort this thing out? How are we going to make it work? And Mba, forgotten that we are in democracy, and he decided to use his veto power as a governor. I don't know who is advising him. And immediately, Soludo followed suit. And as he stands, he saw the repercussion of that. A market chairman was abducted in Anambra State as a result of not observing the sit at home. But one of those things is that somehow Ekpa said he's not involved in the killings and everything that is going on in the southeast. That his own is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released with immediate effect, that is his organ, so that he can take over his position. And the Southeast Ohanese and Igbo, looking down on all these things, thought that it is what they are going to do with Grigada. Igbo man with his pride. But now they have succumbed to what Ekpa is saying. Let's go down to that information so that you will see what is happening. Southeast leaders unite in demand for Nnamdi Kanu's release to secure the region. Southeast leaders and governors have once again emphasized their plea for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the imprisoned leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, in a bid to alleviate the security challenges forcing the region. They argue that the ongoing detention of Mr. Kanu, despite a court-competent jurisdiction having acquitted him, has exacerbated the security crisis in the area. This call was reiterated during the 2023 Igbo Day celebration organized by Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide and hosted by Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State on Friday in Enugu. The event, chaired by Prince Ato Ezenukbo, the Chief Executive Officer of Atlas Oranto Petroleum Limited, was attended by numerous prominent Igbo figures from the 5 southeastern states, including Rivers and Delta states. Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, the president, attributed a significant portion of the region's violence to Mr. Kanu continued incarceration, insisting that Ohaneze Ndigbo had thoroughly reviewed Mr. Kanu's case and found no justifiable reason for his continued detention. The President General emphasized that Ohaneze had been imploring the federal government for several months to secure his release. He passionately stated, "As the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, I consider myself a father, and it grieves me deeply when my children are lost daily to violence." Now, when I don't see as it happen, I was saying this thing. That's why they call me Nyokopus Master. If you wonder why I did answer that name, if I'm to say they are supposed to give me an award on dissecting and looking into deep information, looking ahead of matters before they display. Before now, if you have been following me on all our channels, you will understand that I have been pointing on this direction of dialogue and also Igbos coming together. Asina Aziza Dinuku na ara agbajili agbaji na njikọtakwanụ mamịlị ọnụ ọgbọlụ fufuse onya bibe ndị Igbo jibilu, but it looks as if the Igbos of these days does not understand those proverbs of our ancestors, our predecessors, and also our forefathers who gave that a proverb, knowing the meaning. Now, if all the governors in the southeastern part of Nigeria should come together and demand the release of Nnamdi Kanu, there is no way the presidency, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary will say we are impeaching these people. Yeah, no. As it is, Nigeria is running a federal system of government and also a capital system of government adopted, or should I say borrowed from the United States of America, which is to say that every state governor has autonomy in his own state. The federal territory cannot interfere in what is happening in the state except if it requires a federal intervention. And that is the only thing that is remaining, is that Nigeria is not a confederal state where each of the states will have their own police, and the governors will have authority over the police. It's just that one ICP, Inspector General of Police, oversees all the police units in Nigeria. Now, if all these governors, both in Delta State, Bayelsa, Anambra, Abia, Enugu, Imo State will come together and say, the federal government released this guy for us. This is why we are facing menace and chaos in our region. The federal government will obey them instantly without objection. But because the federal government and other tribes have seen a loophole whereby the governors in the southeast are not together because somehow they are seeking for power, forgetting that if you do what is right, the citizens will just vote you. You don't even need to struggle to be voted in when it comes to election, or even to achieve your second tenure. All you need to do is to do what is right. Look at what Governor Oti of Abia State is doing. Cemetery Road is fixed. Areara Road is quite okay now. This guy is barely 3 months in the office. Do you think that if this guy continues like this, that he's not going to win the second tenure? Abia State people, even Ngwa people, where Okeze Ikpeazu is coming from, put hands together and removed Okeze Ikpeazu. And Okeze Ikpeazu could not even go to the Senate. Of course, you know, it's more like a birthright for every governor in Nigeria. Once you finish from the governorship, you are heading direct to Senate. But Okeze Ikpeazu could not even make it to the Senate. because his people, looking at his lackadaisical attitude, how he managed the governorship position that was given to him, they decided that Okezie Ikpeazu is not going to fly again. Forget what is happening in Nigeria, where it is as if that the masses does not have power. If the masses decide to remove you, they can remove you. Now, I think the Ohaneze and the governors in Southeast are co-curring with what the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile is saying, Mazi Simon Eba. That was the reason why Emmanuel Godswill Akpabio, a current Senate president, called him the governor of the Southeast. Meanwhile, I'll be winding down the curtain here, and if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you'll be the first to collect it. Thank you for listening. God bless you.